With everyone getting ready for Halloween and the Tulsa Run, I think we should start Explore Tulsa by taking in a movie.
Then it's not just for grandmothers anymore.
Followed by Who's in the Hot Seat?
Plus treats from around the world.
Hi, I'm Stevie Fernandez.
And I'm Trish Whitmer. Hi again. It's an honor to have you with us for this week's Explore Tulsa.
I was thinking, if they combine the Tulsa Run with Halloween, pass out candy along the trails, how much more fun would that be?
Well, maybe to prove your point, you should just make a movie about it, like Tulsan Thane Akadamo with his new movie, The Wedding Party.
I mean, I got, big shoes to fill as far as opening, in my opinion, the greatest restaurant in Tulsa. My family owns Coney Island Hot Wieners, downtown Tulsa in the Brady District. Just celebrated its 90th anniversary. As much as I love the hot dogs, I had always had a passion for filmmaking since I was like really young. So I went to SMU in Dallas for film school, and I moved out to LA about 6 years ago. And I've just been working in LA, doing various development jobs. I worked at Lucasfilm for a bit, and then at a production company at 20th Century Fox. Writing the whole time and working on this film actually for most of my time in LA. Well, I mean, it all began years ago. I went to 3 weddings in 5 weeks, and I came back from it saying, you know what, I need to take a lot of these anecdotes, a lot of these things I was thinking, and put them into a script. I wanted to write kind of the ultimate wedding reception movie. And as I was kind of forming it and outlining it, I was looking at it and said, I want this to be in real time. I want this to feel very immersive. Oh my God, I think this needs to be done in one shot. So I went to my producers before I even wrote the script, and I sat them down and I said, listen, I'm about to write this script. I think you guys would be really interested, but I'm gonna want to shoot it in one shot. And they said, that's an insane thing to do. Let's do it. So The Wedding Party is about a wedding reception where everything that can go wrong does go wrong. And it's sort of up to this one groomsman and this one bridesmaid to have to work together and try to fix everything while everything physically possible is going wrong around them, to try to save the wedding for their best friends.
Listen, this situation is infinitely more complex than you realize, and I get more stressed out than you.
A film like this took an incredible amount of preparation, so it was years of me working with my cinematographer to figure out not only what our shot is going to look like, but physically how are we going to pull this off. Some of the equipment hadn't even been invented yet when we started this process that we needed to actually shoot the film. So it was this long process of a lot of preparation, and then once we were ready to roll last year, the good news was we were beyond prepared. So a traditional film is set up and has hundreds of cuts, cutting back and forth between me and you talking, and you'd often use different cuts from different parts of the day, different takes. They could even be on different days, different weeks. The two people could be in different rooms, and that's the magic of editing. A one shot is essentially like pulling off a 360-degree play. But the way that we've shot this and the way that we've approached this from the beginning is I wanted general audiences to not find it distracting.
How do I get him to see me that way?
I'll see you around, Bessie.
Oh yeah, and it had happened where we'd get like 10 minutes into the shot and we'd be up watching it on our monitors and go, something's not right, we have to cut, reset everyone. So yeah, once you start filming, you are in it for the long haul, for the whole 119 minutes, start to finish. My hope is that when you're watching The Wedding Party, even though it's one camera that's following the characters around and it's never cutting and we're never cutting to different locations or different times, we're always following the action. I wanted it to feel as natural as possible so that it was never distracting. And honestly, if people come and see the film and really like it and don't even realize it was all done in one shot, then I've done my job.
What a creative guy, and I really enjoyed meeting Thane. And he had so many nice things to say about his family's famous Coney Island business. Plus, he said he'd put me in his next movie, so he has a real eye for talent, too.
What he really said was that he'd like to see you at his next movie. Big difference. If you'd like to keep up with Thane's upcoming projects, visit ThaneEconomo.com or look him up on IMDb.
You know what I like to do after catching a great flick?
No, what's that?
Enjoy sitting and knitting.
Now that's something I'd like to see. So next up, we'll take Stevie knitting at Loops with Shelly Brander when we come back with more Explore Tulsa.
Hey, it's Stevie from Explore Tulsa with my friend and optometrist for many years, Dr. Robert Zellner. Tell everybody why it's so good to come in to see you.
Well, that's a great question. Let's see, we've got 2 great locations. We try to stay cutting edge at every point along the way because let's face it, everybody wants to come in and get taken care of in a timely fashion and get the latest, greatest stuff and save some money and get on with their life. And see clearly.
And if you don't believe it, look on the website.
Absolutely, drzellner.com. You can find that we have our 2 locations at 69th and Memorial and 3030 South Harvard, or you can give us a call at 749-2020 or 461-2020.
And I got 4 kids, and I gotta tell you, as a big family like that, it's affordable too.
Oh yes, and of course, the number one reason, you save some money. I mean, with our 2-pair specials, with our different unique packages that we put together, I mean, you can come in here and your money can go a lot farther than anywhere else.
And that's why with Dr. Robert Zellner and Associates, seeing is believing.
Oh, I like that, Stevie. Well done.
Are your memories fading?
And no, not the ones stored in your little gray cells. The memories you've collected on those old VHS camcorders.
Or even that beat up Super 8?
Video Revolution can restore your memories from any outdated format and return them to you in a DVD or Blu-ray form.
That way you can relive the past on the big screen.
We can even produce digital copies for you to share with your families or friends online.
Check us out on the northwest corner of 71st and Lewis. Hello, and thanks for continuing with us for more Explore Tulsa.
Trish, did you know that the first knitted socks came to us from ancient Egypt?
Ooh, I've seen your sock drawer. I bet you probably still have that pair.
Whatever. But I do think it'd be kind of cool to learn how to knit a pair.
Then you're in luck, Stevie, because Shelly Brander has everything you need and can easily teach you right here in Tulsa at Loops.
We strive for handmade, not homemade. So that's sort of the difference. It's a handcrafted, handmade look is what we're helping you achieve. I learned to knit when I was 16 years old. I was looking at colleges on the East Coast, and my mom had a friend that had a yarn store, and she put the needles and yarn in my hands, and I just was immediately addicted. I made a cable sweater with orangutan arms. That was my first piece. At the time, no one my age knit, and I really struggled with it because I couldn't find a source for great yarn, and I couldn't find projects that were cool that I really wanted to wear. And finally figured out that a friend of my mom's knew how, and she was pretty cool. So her daughter took it up, and we kind of formed our own little knitting circle. Well, I had to work really hard to find yarns I wanted to work with to begin with. They weren't scratchy and yucky like acrylic and wool. But when they saw it, they were like, "Where'd you get that?" Right? And so then little by little, my friends started picking it up. Now it's a whole new world. Now there's all these great websites. It's super hot. There's tons of resources for free patterns and gorgeous modern stuff. Yeah, guys and girls, all ages. Very hot with the younger crowd, actually. There doesn't seem to be the stigma for guys that are, say, under like 25. It's cool. It's part of going back to the basics, part of sort of the anti-digital movement, you know? There's like a desire for people to go back to working with their hands and making things that mean a little more. From the beginning, when people have walked into Loops, they've thought we must be a franchise, but we're not. We're just a one-store operation, but we ship packages all over the world. We have a club called Loops Club, and we also are involved in something called Knit Stars. That's a worldwide knitting summit. So we're kind of becoming one of those epicenters for knitting and crochet really worldwide. It's pretty cool. Our first store we opened in Utica Square 11 years ago, and then we had another store out south for a while, a smaller store. We ended up really wanting to bring it all together in one location, so we built out this really huge, beautiful store. It's become a destination store for knitters and crocheters around the world. They get smarter and smarter all the time with all the different stitch combinations, but it all really comes down to just knowing how to do a knit stitch and a purl stitch. Everything's just a combination of that, and then it's a matter of the designs sort of mirroring what we see on the runways. And we have classes pretty much every day. We probably have 30 classes a month. The difference is you can put your own colors together and you can work with a lot nicer fibers. Like you go buy things very high end at the highest end department stores, the quality of the yarns is not going to be at the level of what you can get here. You know, really high end cashmere, alpaca, and wool, and even the more affordable yarns they feel better, less scratchy than what you can get, you know, ready to wear. Yes, the big key to online sales is having a community. Everybody craves that. It's the same with a store. You know, they love to be able to come in and just hang out and knit and crochet with friends. And then to have the support, kind of that safety net, if they drop a stitch, we're here to help them out. And so we've created that same thing online, and yes, it's like they come for the kits. We make these really cool, on-trend, effortless kits, but they stay for the community. That's what they love. Yeah, it's pretty great to be part of something, you know, to really feel like you're making an impact, helping people make something with their hands, helping create a movement, and there's just more meaning behind something handmade. So I love bringing people to that, helping them discover that, and then sharing that love. It's something, once you learn it, it's yours forever. No one can take it away, and it helps form a community. You know, people really come together over this and form a community. So to have had that grow from here in Tulsa to a worldwide thing, I feel very honored and blessed to be part of that.
Now I know what everyone's getting for Christmas. I think I'm gonna knit you a beanie cap.
Yeah, make sure you leave an opening this time.
Oh, don't worry, I'm gonna leave a big one, I promise you.
Thanks. If you're looking for supplies or just want to learn how to knit, visit loopslove.com to find out more.
Now that we've been to a wedding and we learned how to knit, I think it's time we do something a little more manly.
Oh yeah? What'd you have in mind, Mr. 1950?
Putting out fires.
You and fire, now that sounds like a bad combination. But the best place to train is right here in Tulsa. And we'll head out to the Tulsa Fire Department Training Center next when Explore Tulsa continues.
Send me some love.
Look at us. We woke up one morning with every song that ever mattered to anyone. So now what? Music's meant to be heard, out loud, where your life happens, where you dance, where you love, and where you live. When everyone has every song ever written, what matters most is how you listen.
Come hear for yourself at Video Revolution.
Hello, I'm John Erling with Voices of Oklahoma. Our great state has been home to countless individuals whose place in history has been earned through each of their many accomplishments. Voices of Oklahoma's mission is to preserve their story in an oral history presentation like none other. Accounts direct from famous Oklahomans, political figures, and many others who have left their indelible mark on the development, history, and future of Oklahoma. So please, treat yourself by listening to those who are the voices of Oklahoma.
We're back and happy to still see you with us for more Explore Tulsa. Now let me guess, Stevie, when you were a kid, you wanted to be a fireman.
I thought about it, fighting the many unknown elements of neighborhood blazes, saving lives of children and damsels in distress.
Well, you do know that firemen often have to climb long ladders, many stories high to fight fires, and you, my friend, are afraid of heights.
They need firemen to fight single-story fires too, Trish. Now that would be my specialty.
We haven't had a death in our fire department since the early 1900s. You know, the bottom line is part of that is luck, because it's a very dangerous profession. At the end of the day, when you're put in a bad situation, you know, a quote I heard one time was, "You're not gonna rise to your level of expectations, but you're gonna fall to your level of training." In the fire service, you have what's called a line of duty death, or an LODD, and that's just how. That's the events that are leading up to a firefighter, you know, perishing. So one of the things that we do out here is we research those line of duty deaths, and we try to recreate some of the circumstances surrounding those deaths, and try to, you know, teach our cadets and our men and women in the field how to prevent those. So due to that, you know, we take training very serious here in Tulsa. name of this facility is the Tulsa Fire Safety Training Center. The grand opening, if you will, was a little over a year ago. I mean, it's been a work in progress. We've been planning this facility for going on 10 years. It finally came to fruition. The first building over here, we call this Fire Station 101. It's set up to mirror, I mean, it's identical to a fire station like that you'll see in the field. Those 3 bays there is where we park the trucks. We pull them out. That's where we do physical fitness training is in there. We've also got a classroom set up where they do all their scholastic training throughout the academy. The large building over here is called our Special Operations Building. We're part of the Oklahoma Task Force 1. So we get a lot of money, a lot of federal money, a lot of grants, work with Homeland Security. So in the event of a tornado, flood, all the members that are part of the task force from other departments, this is kind of the central staging point. We all meet up here and go out. These metal canisters are called flashover props. Those were developed in Sweden. They're able to sit down low. We build a fire up high, and they're able to watch fire conditions build, and they're able to watch a flashover as it progresses, and we're able to control the situation. The value in that is we can tell firefighters, when this happens, you're seconds away from a flashover, a minute away. These are the things that you do to prevent that. It helps, it's going to save their lives someday. Last prop out here is the drill tower. This is a 6-story. In my opinion, this is the nicest one in the nation. The great thing about this drill tower is we're basically limited only by our imagination as to what we can put firefighters through here. And so each floor's got a burn prop where we're able to actually, as you guys saw, put them in a fire situation. We've got office props, we've got bedroom, house. Like I said, limited by the imagination. So that was simulating a fire in the break room. So what we'll do is we'll have that fire going, we'll fill the floor full of smoke, zero visibility, we'll position some dummies around in the cubicles, and we'll tell our firefighters, this is what you've got. You got some victims down. We don't tell them where the fire is, and then we just let them loose. Before we had this facility, we can only talk about it, read about it. Now we're able to actually take cadets through this building, and like I said, it's just like stop action, capability. We can say, when this happens, you do this, and then we can stop it, reset it with the next group. The firefighters that are coming out of these academies are going to be the best trained firefighters that we've ever produced, in this fire department. In the U.S. Fire Service, it's roughly 70% of our fire service is comprised of volunteers. Men and women that show up and do it for free. And without them, we couldn't get it done. That's part of the reason we haven't had a death in so long, is we constantly train, hammer into the cadets, constantly bringing the members in the field out here. And that is why I believe that we're one of the best fire departments in the nation.
That training center is amazing. And with all those types of exercises, it's easy to see how the Tulsa Fire Department is one of the safest in the nation.
To learn more about the Tulsa Fire Department Training Center, visit thecityoftulsa.org. Click on the Public Safety tab, then Fire, to find out how our fire department is working to keep us safe.
Those guys deserve some kind of special treat.
Ooh, maybe you can find something unique when we visit Euromart next on Explore Tulsa.
I want to get a new TV. There's like 1,000 different brands, all with different features. I wish I could make sense of it all. What do you think is best?
You should go to Video Revolution. Their experts will tell you everything you need to know. They carry the latest LED and 4K TVs and will even install it and set it up for you too.
She's right. You wouldn't talk to anyone but your dentist about your bicuspid. So when it comes to home entertainment, only trust the experts at Video Revolution, located on the northwest corner of 71st and Lewis.
Oh, I want to tell this story.
Okay. You don't have to go out of Tulsa to find creative people, creative firms to be able to work on projects.
We are where East meets West. It is because of the old 11th Street Bridge. That is the reason that Route 66 even came to Tulsa.
I'm approaching retail almost from an artist's viewpoint.
We've got the capability here, we've got the success,
and we have the people that are committed to it, that's a great recipe for success.
Hello, those of you who might be world travelers, because we have a real treat for you just for sticking around for more Explore Tulsa.
When my friends and I traveled to Europe, we had the best time. And one of the things I have to say I miss the most is the food.
Not to worry, because right here in T-Town, you can get many of your favorite treats from all over Europe from our very own Euromart.
I was born in Russia, in Yekaterinburg, Ural. Also, I live in Ukraine. And part of my family Russian, Ukraine, and Polish.
Everything I have done has just been like connected to Europe. So then later, like in the 90s, I traveled through Europe, and I was there every year for all through the 90s. And I'd be in at least 2 countries. Each year I lived in Europe 2 different times for a little while. Now, that's a good story. I had been in Ukraine, and I lived there for a short time.
We meet in YWCA, and I do paperwork for immigration, and Gary come back from his trip from Ukraine, and he bring book for some employers over there.
So I stopped in at the office to say, guess where I've been? And Tanya was there right then, and so we talked, and like we've known each other ever since. Thing is, there's been a lot of people immigrated to the United States from Europe. Tulsa actually, I think, is like, I'd say it's in the top 10 of destinations. And it's because of the big churches that did the mission trips to the countries. And the other is the warm weather, which is a big change from the rainy, cold countries that the people come from. They still want to live part of their life. It takes a while to melt into the American fabric. Yeah, it takes a while. And a lot of the adults, they're going to stay the way they are, you know, for most of their life, you know. Then that's the immigrant group, which I call new arrivals, and the other group, which is represented by me, are the travelers. And so you take the 2 groups that the one group likes the products and the other group misses them, and you have the backing for a store, for the market is created. Well, I know the banking, the finance, the tax situations real well. And then Tanya has the day-to-day lifestyle experience of knowing all the products. I know about them, but Tanya, you know, knows how they fit into your life. So the 2 skills complement each other. I let her run the store, and I take care of everything, you know, in the background. And the 2 work together pretty good.
The most unique, which they grow up with, and same stuff from their country, we sell it here.
Our store is mainly known for our chocolates and cheese. Those are the biggest sellers. Really important is the sausages and the fish, which are a big part of the diet in Europe.
Well, I can speak Russian, English, and Ukrainian. A lot of customers, yes, they won't speak with me on their native language, so they're happy to hear when I say just thank you on their languages. Oh, they're so happy.
I kind of laugh because sometimes I say that I'm the only so-called American that works at Euromart, and in some ways I'm not qualified to work at my own business. But we do okay.
The most I enjoy it because when customers come and they see their food from their country, they were so happy, and make me happy.
Gary and Tanya, great people. And Tanya made us this lunch. It was incredible. I'm usually a pretty picky eater myself, but then Tanya said, you need to try my borscht. And you gotta imagine her saying that with like a Russian accent. But her soup, sandwich, and chocolates were amazing.
Once again, you get food and I get nichua. To find out what's on the menu, visit TulsaEuromart.com to enjoy the taste of Europe for yourself. Now, Stevie, why haven't you ever traveled to Europe?
Trish, every time I get on a plane, TSA thinks I look like Joe Pesci from The Goodfellas. So they take me in that little room, conduct the full search. A man can only take his clothes off and cough so many times a day.
Stick around, we'll be back with more Explore Tulsa. Why so sad, Stevie?
The dinosaur's gone, Trish.
It was a bad accident, but our technician was able to walk away from the scene.
But people are so used to seeing the dinosaur and knowing that it represented over 30 years of experience in personal service and in-home and office repair and installation.
No worries, Stevie. We'll get another dinosaur. And until then, we have a whole fleet of Video Rev trucks ready to continue serving Tulsans.
And people can still stop by Video Revolution on the northwest corner of 71st and Lewis.
Hi, Dr. Robert Zellner here. For over 20 years, I've offered affordable, convenient eye care in Tulsa. Right now, you can get one pair of glasses or contact lenses starting at just $99 or my two-pair deal for $129. Hey, and as always, the eye exam's included. Walk-ins are always welcome. Glasses are ready in about an hour. Plus, we have over 2,000 frames to choose from. We're open 7 days a week. Come see why we're voted Tulsa's best. And our drive-thru at 69th and Memorial makes pickup simple and easy. For the best eye care value in Tulsa, Dr. Robert Zellner and Associates.
Have you outgrown your home entertainment system? Then it's time to step up with Video Revolution and Sony for the ultimate 4K home theater experience. Size does matter when it comes to the quality and enjoyment that you get from a home entertainment system. Engineered by the experts at Video Revolution on the northwest corner of 71st and Lewis.
Be sure and join us next week when we stop in and visit with the guys at the new Savage Space co-working environment in Tulsa.
Special thanks to Thane Economo for introducing us to his new movie, The Wedding Party. We look forward to watching it and your future projects.
Well, thanks too to Shelley Brander for making knitting cool again at Loops. And thanks to Chief Brian Lloyd and his crew for showing us around that awesome new Tulsa Fire Department Training Center.
Also thanks to Gary and Tanya at the Euromart for bringing that part of the world closer to us here in Tulsa.
Remember, if you miss any of the show, you can always catch us at exploretulsa.com.
As always, each week we feature the people, places, and attractions that make us proud to call Tulsa our home.
And hey, don't forget to like us on Facebook. Share with us someone you think Tulsa should know more about.
Plus, remember, Explore Tulsa is brought to you by Video Revolution, located on the northwest corner of 71st and Lewis.
Stop by, say hello to Ron and all the guys for all of your home entertainment needs.
And Explore Tulsa is also proudly brought to you by Dr. Robert Zollner and Associates.
Home of Tulsa's best eye care value with 2 locations, 3030 South Harvard and 69th and Memorial.
Well, that's all the time we have for you on this week's show, but we'll see you next week right here on Explore Tulsa.